years, and as that camera comes in, you can see that it goes up to the year 2004. There's been a dramatic increase in the last 5 or 6 years that seems to be borne out by everybody's testimony so far. So if we could at this point go back to testimony. Please, ma'am, come on up, and good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. My name is Marilyn Russell, and I've lived in California for 35 years, partly in Venice and then currently in Culver City. Since 1970, I've lived in California. I am not directly in the flight path, but I want to say that in 1970, Santa Monica Airport was a nice little airport, no problem. In current years, I've noticed as I drive over Bundy frequently, every time I drive over Bundy, I would smell fumes in my car, and I thought it was the car in front of me needing a new muffler. And I would just close my windows, and I noticed how consistent this was, and pretty soon I realized, well, this is jet fumes. I also have friends in Westdale, and I've noticed in the past few years when I go to their house, if we're outdoors, the jets keep coming over constantly. We have to stop talking. The noise is just astounding, and they're practically right over your head. And when I talk to them on the phone, they have to stop and say, wait, hold on, please, the jet is going over. And I'm not in the flight path at the moment, but this is no way to live. So I just wanted to support my friends, because I think we all need to support each other in the fight for a people-friendly environment.
Thank you very much for your comments. Appreciate it. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Virginia Ernst. I live 300 feet from the end of the runway on the east side, right in center line. The effects that we're feeling are primarily fumes. Fumes are horrible. They give you headaches, your sinuses burn, you get sore throats, and it's a significant impact. I've lived in my house since 1962. When I began to notice the increase in jets was around 92, and that's when I started attending the Santa Monica Airport Commission meetings. I've been told by the FAA and Santa Monica that the airport was grandfathered in, that it does not meet the safety criteria for an airport. It could never be built now. What I'm experiencing as well are the fumes. It's jet blast. We get the vortex when they land, and we get the blast when they take off. Now, someone in Venice had said that they fly over the monitors quietly. Well, let me tell you how they do that. They hold to maximum power and hold the brakes at the end and blast the blazes out of our neighborhood. And then they pop the brakes and they take off. And then when they hit the monitors, they pull back so that it's quieter going over the monitors. And then they give it the gun again when they get about to Venice. And that's pretty common knowledge. And also that's how the airport operators, management, teach them to beat the box. That's what they instruct them to do. This is how you get over the monitors without violating. And when you see these tests on in the airport commission packets, and they say test, 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 and they're telling what their DB level was, that's what they're doing, is they're asking them, how do we beat the box? And this is what they do to do it. When I noticed the impact in the airport, or jet traffic was, like I said, around 92 when it became impossible. Started investigating it, and what we noticed was that also coincided with the opening of the jet centers on the north side of the airport. And that's why I feel that we have so many. They rolled out the red carpet and didn't expect it to get like this. I know the jets were banned in the late 60s and early 70s. We had about 10 years of peace, and now it's impossible. and fumes are the worst. I'd also like to volunteer in my house. I don't have a dog. It's easily accessible. I have a large patio that you can set your equipment in. I'm not on that list, but I'd like to be added to it.
Great, thank you very much. Come on up and just add your name to the list right now.
I do have a question before you go, before
Please,
you leave.
Susan has a question.
It was my understanding that the Santa Monica Airport put up some blast barriers at the end of the runway.
Yes, that's true, but the blast barriers are below the runway. They're about 1 foot below it, so we still get blast.
So that they're ineffective? Have they
They're-
mitigated it at all?
They're ineffective for the large jets. We still get blasts from the large jets. The smaller ones that are a little bit lower, it may have, an impact there. But as far as when you get a G4 or a Challenger or one of the larger Citations at the end of that runway, we get jet blast.
So basically, they're extending up over the barrier?
Oh, yes. Well, they all extend over it, but they're just higher over it. I believe their engines said about 14 feet up in the air.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman,
Hi, my name is Alice
Councilman, may
Burston.
I ask just a clarification on that?
Please, yes, go for it, Lou.
Just, is the key concern you have in the blast area the noise or the exhaust?
Get back to the podium. You. Yeah. No, that's okay. Lou is asking you a question. Lou,
I'm
restate the
sorry.
question again,
Is the
please.
key concern you have in the blast area, is that noise from the exhaust, from the engine, or is it the exhaust fumes?
On the blast,
Yes.
it's turbulence.
It's what?
Turbulence, which is noise, I guess. Turbulence. So the house vibrates from all from
Thank you.
the effect of the blast, and we get wind.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, hello.
My name is Alice Burston. I live 1 block north of Rose and 1 block west of Lincoln, so we're right on the flight path. I've lived there 8 years, 10 years in the area of Venice, and it's significantly increased. I work hard all week long. I look forward to sleeping in on the weekend, and as other people have said, about every minute, every 2 minutes, you have a plane going over. I have a skylight right over my bed. I can't keep it open. I have to, which I enjoy having it open because of the fresh air or the air, but you can't have it open. And I'd like to say that we're also adding rental space. And it was kind of discouraging tonight to hear that this woman said that she wasn't able to rent her property. And we're putting a significant amount of money into this rental space, and it makes me a little frightened. Also, I'd like to say there was a short time in the past history where we had 3 days of peace, and unfortunately our country was in mourning at that time. But it was it was like, wow, when you realized what you'd been putting up with, and suddenly you didn't put up with it for 3 days. It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Appreciate it very much. Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Hello, I'm deaf, and I'm a visitor, and this is my sign language interpreter here. He'll be voicing for me. I live in West Los Angeles. I've lived there since 1957, and thank God I'm young enough. I don't look as old as I feel sometimes, so I'm thankful for that. But anyway, I remember, as the woman said, regarding September 11th, when President Bush made the mandate to stop all planes from closing, and of course Santa Monica Airport was closed during that time, and it was so nice to not have to deal with the fumes and everything from that. And it was really nice. We'd go outside and celebrate, and it was really a great time. After that time had passed, the planes again, of course, started coming back up and everything, and the traffic continued to get significantly worse, and the fumes kept getting worse, and everyone was really upset about it. And I just kind of wish they would close this for just a month so we can test the air, see what it's like as clean, and we can keep it closed so we can test the air when it's clean, and then when the planes come back, we can see the comparison of when it's dirty, and we can show you what kind of difference it is. So that's what I think to do. And you need to close up for like a month, and so citizens know what they're dealing with.